Born in Prague and living in the downtown area, photographer Eugen Kukla is highly knowledgeable about the history of his native city. Taking time out from preparing for an exhibition of his work that starts at Velryba café next week, he suggests we start our tour of his Prague at the spot on Old Town Square where a Baroque Marian column stood for over 2.5 centuries. A member of a group pushing to have it rebuilt, Kukla explains how the monument was toppled in November 1918, shortly after the foundation of Czechoslovakia.
It was destroyed by a rebel, and actually a rebel led by anarchist Franta František Sauer, who in collaboration with Žižkov district firefighters managed to tear it down. It was that kind of revolutionary euphoria.
They regarded this Marian column that stood here as some kind of symbol of the Austro-Hungarian Empire?
Yes. To some extent, some people understood it as a symbol of Austro-Hungarian Empire. However, the column was erected as an expression of gratitude for successful defense of Prague in 1648, when Prague managed to fight against the Swedish army, and Prague was in grave danger of being totally destructed at that time.
You're part of some group who are lobbying to have the Marian column rebuilt here at the exact same spot where it stood for all those years.
Yes, exactly. That's true. And except for 4 angels, all the work is done. We have all elements ready, including the most important statue of Virgin Mary. We can see on the southern part of Tin Church just next to us. But the most difficult part is to convince the authorities, and sometimes it seems even part of the general public, to convince them that this is a really good thing to have it here back.
Some people might say it's a pity that the Marian column was knocked down. But what's the point all these years later of creating a replica of this Baroque column?
Because simply we have enough historical evidence, fragments, thousands of photographs, giving us the chance to come with a very well done art replica. By the way, most statues on Charles Bridge are replicas as well. And also bring back the column here would be an excellent starting point for general recovery of Old Town Square. People come here, admire it a lot, but very few know that what we have here is an open wound, because over there, the Prague Municipal Hall, all the block is missing from World War II. We don't have the Krocin fountain over there. It was also torn down. Kren house just next to Nicholas. By the way, the Nicholas Church was conceived to be actually a monumental more Roman type church, like in Roma, with piazzetto in front, amplifying the monumental look. It was not supposed to be visible like this. So it's actually not finished. For me, it's an open wound, and the column was a center point of all this. So bringing the column here would also allow us to think properly about what to do with the missing part of the town hall, etc. So I think it's a center of gravity, and the center of gravity is missing now.
Our tour of Eugen Kukla's Prague takes place on a lovely sunny afternoon, so I very much welcomed his proposal that we hire a rowing boat from the island Slovansky Ostrov and spend an hour mucking about on his beloved Vltava.
Vltava, this is the main vein of Bohemia. I cannot imagine my country without Vltava. I love Vltava on her all long way from Böhmerwald, Šumava, till confluence with Elbe River. Actually, if history was fair, Elbe wouldn't be called Elbe after meeting Vltava, but Vltava would continue to Dresden and to Hamburg, because it's far bigger than Elbe. But that doesn't matter. It's a beautiful river. It's a river of my childhood, because our summer house, my parents' summer house, is close to Slapy. My family roots go back to South Bohemia and also to Vltava river valley. So this is when I'm in Vltava, I feel like really at home. And now Vltava is actually getting better and better because it's
cleaner now,
cleaner.
right?
It's cleaner. It's absolutely okay now to take bath here. You can see a lot of fish.
Let's say in the 1990s, I think nobody would have swum in the Vltava in Prague, but now people do.
Yes, people do on a more and more frequent basis. Not only, let's say, in outer parts of Prague, but also here on Střelecký Ostrov. You can see many swimming people in the summer. It has become quite normal.
And right now, we're by Žofín, very near, maybe 100 meters from Střelecký Ostrov, quite near Manes.
Yes, and over there we see the beautiful Milunic and Gary's dancing house, a monument of modern Prague architecture, the house of Václav Havel just next to it. Also this is a great place when it's humid in Prague and you do need air conditioning. So the best thing is to hop on the rowing boat, and you have the air conditioning of the best quality here.
Also, just generally speaking, I mean, now it's the end of May, beginning of June. For me, this is by far the best time to be in Prague.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, the light conditions are excellent for taking photos, and I think the things get worse. Starting July, August, it's not so good like now. That we have to wait till the end of September to have, and again that. The light, I love the light. It's that kind of Californian light in California I remember from. It's really nice.
I guess one nice aspect of Prague is the several islands that are in the city. And also I think they've improved in recent years. Střelecký Ostrov has been remodeled, I think, wonderfully.
Yes, I think so. And every island has its own history. There were far many more islands than now. Unfortunately, many of them disappeared, especially in the Karlín area, even though the new restoration project counts with renovation or reconstruction of some original channels. And this Střelecký, this is the Shooters Island. It was a place where people with bows were training for centuries. It was quite safe. No one was in danger when people were shooting here. Over there, the smaller one is Dětský Ostrov, or Jewish Island, close to Smíchov part, and in that direction we would find another island which is just close to Vyšehrad, which is Císařská Louka. And opposite direction there is Štvanice Island, probably Štvanice hunting island, and with a beautiful old electric power station from 1913, and sometimes you have a chance to get here and see the beautiful facility inside.
After a little exertion on the Vltava, it's time for a late afternoon Pilsner Urquell at the pub Convict, Eugen Kukla's home away from home. I actually first met the photographer at the Stammgasts or regulars table where he and his friends hold court, and from where he frequently posts black and white pictures, popular with his thousands of Facebook followers.
Convict, with a little bit of exaggeration, it's one of my main working places. It's a place to meet other people. It's a place for me to edit photographs, plan, discuss politics, various things, or just be silent with my friends. So it's a highly inspirational place with good beer, and a place where we have our own Stammtisch, regular table. We know each other. We are quite a motley crew, various professions, but I would say with large share of journalists, all kind of media people, musicians, artists of all kinds.
I know you have regular friends you meet here, regular acquaintances you meet here, but I guess you also, at least I see from your Facebook updates, Facebook posts, you meet a lot of random people here, it seems.
Yeah, well, random people, sometimes incredibly interesting random people, like a guy who was coming here, sitting silently, sipping wine, even though it is a pub, and eventually it showed up, it was John Hurt, the Elephant Man from David Lynch movie, We had Brother Gorbanevsky here, whose mother, Miss Gorbanevska, was one of the heroes that was protesting in 1968 on Red Square in Moscow against Russian Soviet occupation of Czechoslovakia. We had a great time with him. Or with Mr. Viktor Feinberg. He was the real participator on this event in 1968 in Moscow. Various people are coming here, and it's great. They always are very much invited at our table, and we feel privileged to enjoy such great meetings.
What in particular do you like about Convict? What makes it special for you?
Yeah, people who are coming here, good beer, and also I like the paradoxes, because we are in a main Prague police street, so most of the buildings here Bartolomiejska Street, but at the same time we are on the premises of a former monastery. It was a college for students, so they were not living priests only, but also the students. They had their dormitory here. You have a church which is almost invisible, but there is a church as well. The Institute of Criminology with dead bodies, murdered bodies, and so on. It's kind of bizarre mix of things going on here. So I like it a lot.
I know you're here very often, but what other pubs in Prague would you recommend, or do you like a lot?
It's a matter of taste, of your expectations. Certainly, I would not omit the Golden Tiger pub, for sure, or Upinkasu pub, especially the garden, the beer garden, which is just next to a huge Gothic church. It's a pub with verticality. I love it a lot. It's unbelievable.
Photographer Eugen Kukla was Ian Willoughby's guest on My Prague.